When looking for a partner, you must seek someone who is inherently good. How do we identify such a person? First, observe how they treat themselves. Many people see someone being nice to friends and think they'll definitely be good to their partner too. But in reality, how a person interacts with friends versus partners is completely different. Friends belong to the external world. They're others. In these relationships, people tend to package themselves, deliberately acting better and showing a service-oriented attitude. But romantic relationships are intimate relationships. And in this type of relationship, they'll treat you as one of their own, even as an extension of themselves. At this point, their attitude toward you mirrors how they usually treat themselves. So if someone is particularly harsh and critical toward themselves, they'll likely treat you the same way. They might not even tolerate your smallest flaws. After all, someone who can't even take care of themselves and constantly torments themselves will find it very difficult to truly care about others' feelings. Conversely, if they're good at taking care of themselves, emotionally stable and mentally balanced, they'll usually offer more understanding, tolerance, and patience in intimate relationships. Second point, see if they're a vague person. Specifically, observe whether they speak and act with clarity. For example, sometimes they're exceptionally nice to you, then suddenly turn cold, leaving you constantly guessing what they're thinking and what they actually want. This back and forth uncertainty will drive you crazy. This vagueness usually has two causes. First, they have control issues. They use hot and cold behavior and ambiguous attitudes to make you feel insecure, making you more dependent on them and afraid to leave. Second, their internal structure is unstable, meaning their psychological support system is weak, lacking clear self-awareness and problem-solving abilities. When faced with external pressures, these people easily fall into emotional breakdowns. They either choose to avoid problems or blame everything on you. Truly clear people won't create that persistent sense of uncertainty in you. They know what they're doing and how to face problems. Their self-structure is stable, able to handle pressure, and capable of communicating rationally with you to solve problems together. Third point, see if they attack others' goodwill. In psychoanalysis, there's a concept called attacks on linking. It means when someone faces others' kindness and care, instead of accepting it, they react with hostility. For instance, when they're sick and you care for them out of concern, they think you're there to mock them, suddenly becoming hostile and attacking or blaming you. These people typically don't believe others can be genuinely good to them. They're extremely insecure and sensitive, habitually defensive, and prone to creating problems from nothing. Even if such people have great external conditions like career success or charisma, I wouldn't recommend choosing them, because this hides a twisted relationship pattern that's very difficult for you to change. The kinder you are to them, the more they might attack you. Fourth point, see if their self-esteem is excessive. People with overly strong self-esteem often like to compete for wins and losses in intimate relationships. Even if you just make a casual joke, they might immediately feel offended and quickly retaliate, escalating small issues into major conflicts. This is because their core is fragile and insecure. They can't accept any form of denial or criticism. But in intimate relationships, many arguments are essentially emotional conflicts, not about determining right and wrong. A person with healthy self-esteem can recognize that emotional fluctuations are temporary. They won't explode in anger over this, nor will they stubbornly fight you to save face. They'll calm down, be willing to communicate and resolve conflicts, rather than getting trapped in win-lose competition. So please remember, when looking for a partner, never judge solely based on how well they treat you. Being good to you might be short-term behavior, purpose-driven, or even performative. At best, it's a bonus point. It should never be the deciding factor. What truly matters is whether this person has stable psychological structure, reliable character traits, mature communication skills, and the ability to treat you consistently and gently in a long-term relationship. Have you had similar experiences? Feel free to share your story in the comments.